Hello, welcome. I'm Claudia. If you're new here and if you're back, thank you so much for coming back. You can't see, but I am surrounded by dogs. It is Blue Gracie that we are babysitting or dog sitting, and Hunter over here, and Bear is just right to the side. Hopefully the dogs cooperate for this video. But anyway, I'm excited to be here with you today. We're doing a variety of planty chores today, or like plant things that need to happen, anywhere from repots, propagations, we're extending a pole. I don't know, we'll go through each one as I gather each plant. And then at the end, I have something exciting to share with you, so I hope you'll stick through. And while it wasn't in my agenda to include this next thing with you today, I am excited to be here with you shooting this video and chatting with you so I can cleanse my palette of what's happened in the last 24 hours. I'll add a timestamp for when the plant stuff is starting in case you don't want to listen. I'm sure it's going to be a little rambly, and it's not, I know this video is not the plants, pups, and beyond, but again, I feel the need to cleanse my palette of it, so I'm going to share it with you. When stuff is going on, I always like to share because I feel like energy very much translates into what I'm doing. And again, I'm hoping to like share and release it. Long story short, my parents are traveling visiting family right now, and my mom's phone was stolen yesterday. So she didn't realize it was stolen until several hours later. She called me to do the find my phone, which I did, and I could tell that it was turned off at whatever last location she remembers having it. So, you know, whoever stole it, turn it off immediately. It's an iPhone, so I was able to do a my phone is lost situation, and then you can add a message saying for like if someone sees it or chooses to see it, it basically locks the phone and you're not able to unlock it without Face ID or the thumbprint if, you know, that's the phone that you have. I will also say my mom has a pretty old phone. It's like the first generation of the SE. So yeah, it's not like it's a brand new iPhone or anything. Anyway, I lost my phone, and then a message should pop up on the screen that says my phone was lost, call this number, whatever. This was yesterday afternoon, and the phone was off all the way up until I went to bed. I went to bed early, and I was so happy because the time was gonna change overnight, and I just wanted to set myself up and going to bed a little bit earlier so that I could wake up earlier and set that whole routine and rhythm. Right around midnight, I'd gone to bed at 9:30, lights out, which is actually really, really good for me. Right around midnight, my phone, vibrates because it's always on silent. Like multiple times. It was like 3 different calls, and I was a little out of it, and I get my phone and I see it's my mom calling. So it clicks that whoever has the phone has done the thing to call me, right? I answer and I'm like, who's this? And they say it's a male, and he says, yeah, so I found your phone. And I'm like, oh, great. So how would you like to get it back to me? And he's like, well, how much is this phone worth to you? And I was like, no, there's no reward for the phone. You either want to do the right thing or not. And he was like, yeah, no, like this has to be worth something to you. So I basically replied with respectfully, go yourself. And yeah, like he hung up the phone, and I was able to, like, I logged on immediately and I could see the exact location of where the phone is, which is actually like a few hours away from where my parents actually are, which just proves it wasn't lost and he never had intentions of giving it back. He stole it, turned it off, and then once he got home or whatever and tried to turn it on and realized he couldn't get in is when he decided to try to get money for it anyway. And it just left me so unsettled last night. Like, I couldn't go to sleep, probably like close till 3 a.m. I was just up bothered. And it's not the phone, like it's just things, it's stuff, right? I'm so thankful my parents are okay. They don't even know like when it happened. So, you know, nothing happened with that. But it's just the feeling of like, I mean, just so taken advantage of, violated even, and then so like the frustration of like not being able to do anything about it. Anyway, like I said, it's just stuff. My parents are okay, and that's all that matters. But yeah, it was very, very ill and icky, and it's unfortunate that some people are just like that. Anyway, now that I've cleansed my palette, Thank you so much for listening if you did. Let's get started with the plants. I think that we will get started repotting my Monstera aurea, so let me go grab it and set up my table. Speaking of time change, so that happened last night, and I've already been complaining, I feel like, for the last 3 weeks or so about how dark it's been getting so early at like 6:15. And now it's gonna start getting darker even sooner at 5, I guess, right? Is that how that works? Yeah. I'm not happy about it. I don't do well this time of year. I am not looking forward to it, and I cannot wait for spring forward already. Oh my gosh, you might get to see Bear. Come here, Bear. He always likes to be close, but like, you know, have his own space. Say hi. Say hi, lovey. Was that your spot? Who's a good boy? He's the sweetest boy. And for looking so cuddly, he really does not like to cuddle at all. It breaks my heart. But he's very lovey. Right, my lovey? Okay, lay down. So here's my Monstera aurea. This is the newest leaf. The variegation hasn't quite burnt in yet, but it looks very, very promising. I'm excited to see it. We found that it is due for a repot in my last Plants, Pups, and Beyond video. And I'm already concerned I'm not going to be able to get some of these out. So I brought 2 pot options for her. One is one of these that I use all the time, and the other is exactly like the one she has, but the size up. And I think that, I mean, I typically like using these for more like Anthurium or Alocasia because of the height of them, but I don't know. I think let's get the root ball out and we will decide what to go with. I'm kind of already feeling we're gonna do the other one because the more I think about it, the more I really do like these for Anthuriums or Alocasias versus Monstera. But yeah, let's just look at the root ball and then I guess we can decide. Oy, I hope this comes out easy. I also just want to be really careful with that new leaf. I would hate for it to get damaged. I feel like it kind of needs to be like maybe just, I don't know that was a good idea. Yeah, it was. It was a good idea to moisten them a little. Maybe I should have started with the less messier one. I do kind of feel like maybe it needs to sit in water. I'd really like to keep these roots if possible. Honestly, these drainage holes should be big enough to get these roots through. I was able to keep most of it. I'm happy with that. Of course I made a giant mess, but that's okay. Let's see about using this. Yeah, I think this will be good for now. I'm also going to add a empty grow thickly pull as I've been doing. I know I've said this already, but I do find them very sturdy and very effective for supporting plants. So yeah, I've been really happy with them. This is a medium 2.0. It's a lot, or like maybe just the original version, so it has a back closure. But again, I'm not using this to actually add moss and for the plant to attach to the pole. So I'm fine leaving it as is. I forgot the little foam thing on the water gauge. So this helps this thing float up. Or like that's what makes it float up when there's water in there. Sorry, I know your view is not the best. I very much dislike working with wet substrates, any of them. Just so sticky. This is my nutrient-rich cocktail, of course, and I'm just going to fill the reservoir, usually like, I don't know, about halfway between like empty and full. And let's attach her probably just from like right here. I'm gonna use grafting tape and probably just attach this newest note, I guess. Here she is, looking pretty good. I am excited to see what she continues to do and how she continues to do now that she's in pon. But this new leaf looks promising, and her previous leaf also, honestly. I'm a little impressed given my recent struggles with her. But I'm gonna place her back and clean this area a little bit, and we'll move on to the next one. Up next, we're finally gonna take care of my Hoya compacta Moana Loa. I think it is Moana Loa, right? So I don't know if it's been getting like too much light, and that's why it's, I mean, I want to call it sun stressing, but it's on the green part. It's not really on the variegated part. And I don't know if you can see just how rooted this is. So it's more than ready. And then I also have a couple cuttings here in pon that I had done. I don't know why I did some here. I think maybe this was the base of the plant and then I cut it and I propagated these. Is that what that was? I don't remember. But anyway, it's time to pot them up. So I'm just gonna start by bringing each of the cuttings out. Now this portion of the plant, although bleached, doesn't have like that purpley sun stressy thing that the other one has, and they were sitting right next to each other, so I really don't know what that's about. Interesting. Yeah, so I think this was the original plant, and then I chopped her to make those cuttings. And I think that she had arrived maybe in sphagnum moss, and I had placed her in stratum. And then that's where she was until I chopped her. But I think I'm going to be putting her in just my regular soul soils that I do most of my Hoya in. Got most of it out. I think that that's probably fine. And then these. Oh my God, it's so rooted. Looks like it's 3 different cuttings. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you can see that, but I am impressed. I don't think I realized compacta had such vigorous roots. Making a giant mess, of course. I may have to rinse them to really get everything off. Okay, yeah, let me go rinse them. I'll be right back. I rinsed them off and I'm gonna clean up here a little bit because I just cannot work like this. But after looking at the root system also, I got a bigger pot because I don't think that the original one that I brought is big enough to fit all of that root system. I'm really impressed. I also feel like some of the roots on those propagations were actually like nice and hefty. And most Hoya have like that super thin leaf system. And I feel like these are substantial. This is the pot I had brought for them initially. And this is the one I brought now. I think this is a 4-inch, 18 centimeters, yeah, 4-inch. And look at these root systems. Like here is one. Here's another. And the last one. So yeah, it's gonna be 4 cuttings total, and I think they'll fit in here. I don't know if I said it yet or I just thought it, but the main reason I want to do soil for this plant is because I want to use systemic on them. Just, I mean, if you know, you know, but I've been burned by the compacta before, and yeah. This is so chunky. Okay. This is too chunky. Not too chunky. It can never be too chunky, but it's making it challenging. I'm kind of like using the scoop to shove them all towards the center. Okay, I actually think that that's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna need to rinse this off in the shower, maybe not. Okay, so here's what she's looking like. Very, very dusty, but we're gonna clean her up. I'm also gonna clean this up again because I'm just gonna use this bin to water over And then also, I'm gonna add a little bit of systemic just right over the top. Measuring with the heart here because, yeah, I didn't bring anything to properly measure. I also had experience early on using systemic where I used it on a plant and it completely like burnt the plant, and I used it according to directions at the time because I was, you know, it was my first time using it and I was worried that I might not do it correctly. This needs a lot more water actually, so let me go get more. But anyway, so it burnt the plant, so ever since, I mean, I do use it on Hoya, but I feel like I use less than what's recommended. The plant we are going to propagate is my Begonia Fanny Moser. I recently featured her in the plants that like thrive on neglect. She's been so easy, and she's grown actually quite a bit, but she's only one long vine, so I would like to propagate her to make a little more bushier of a plant. So I'm thinking I'm gonna chop her probably all the way to here. I didn't think about that very much, and clearly I haven't learned anything because, ooh, these look like they're going. She is thirsty, but that's okay. She should hopefully shoot out new growth. There's like several more nodes down here. So we'll place her to the side and we will do a top cut, maybe like here. Yeah, let's do a top cut here. This is such a cool begonia. And then we'll just do, I don't know, I'll chop this just one more time, I think, here. Yeah? Why not? I brought this tiny cup and I'm gonna remove the bottom two leaves here. Oh, look at that new leaf. Isn't that so cool? And from here, I guess I will remove also the bottom two leaves. Just leave this as one. And then maybe same with here. Maybe with this one, I'll just remove one bottom leaf. Okay. I brought perlite for this one, just, I don't know, to get some weight on it maybe. And I actually had on my list, I have a couple of random corms that are on my kitchen counter with like just a tiny, they're like on a tray with a tiny little bit of water that I need to set up, but I'm actually all out of stratum and I just don't want to spend money on like non-essentials at the moment, and I feel like, I don't know, I just can't excuse that right now. And I'm like, well, maybe I should just try them in perlite because I have perlite. But then I'm also like, I already know that stratum works so good. I don't know, I have some stratum over there that I got the Moana Loa out from, Moana Loa. And maybe I can have enough to at least like set them up for now, and then I can top them off later. I don't know. I know that people propagate corms in all sorts of other things. I feel like the formula that works for me is stratum. Like it's, I don't know, I feel like I have it down to a science. It's like very reliable and I know when to expect them to sprout and all of that, and it just makes me nervous to try something else, but maybe I just may have to, you know? Okay, so this is what this is looking like. And I'm unsure if I want to take it to my grow rack or just, yeah, I probably should take it to my grow rack, actually, Vista shelf, formerly grow rack, because that's where I top off all my propagations and stuff in stratum, and I don't want to forget, like I don't want it to go completely dry, you know, run out of water. So yeah, I'll probably, not probably, I will be taking it over to the Vista shelf, and then I think I'm just going to return this one back to its spot. Next, we're going to extend the pole on my Philodendron Splendid. I can't believe that plant. That plant has grown so much. The leaves are huge. I mean, as a chronic underwaterer like I am impressed that I have been able to grow that plant so beautifully and so large. If you remember, I had the original plant in my chunky mix and aroid mix, and when I chopped it, I decided to put the top cutting into pond to, you know, just help alleviate some of my underwatering ways. And it's been doing so well. I think that that's definitely helping with the pole also, you know, keeping the pole more moist. But I'm still just really, really impressed with that plant. That plant is really hardy. And now I'm trying to think why I didn't include it in my plants that thrive on neglect. Probably because, yeah, I wouldn't say that it thrives. I would just say that it's really, really resilient. I think I'm gonna add moss after, but that one's on a Grow Thickly 3.0 pole, so they're the ones that open in the front. Let me grab it. Here it is in all its glory. I mean, the size of this leaf. I just can't get over it. I think I might, yeah, I think I can just place it on the floor and do it here so I don't have to move my entire setup. I do use the watering globe to add water every now and then, but like I said, honestly, having it in semi-hydro has really helped with keeping it moist for longer. The very top is super dry. And then these just clip onto each other, so it's pretty easy. There we go. Okay, look at this new leaf. So excited. Okay, let's fill it up with some moss. I'm not gonna fill it all the way up, so I think that's all I'm gonna do for now. The top, oh my gosh, it's so sticky. The top node is right here, so we still have all of this to go. And I think that that's good for now. I do want to attach, though, this node. I don't know how you can get a better view. It's so hard. Maybe here? Oh my god, it is so sticky there. Gross. Okay, here we go. All set. That leaf is going to be huge, but he's looking so good, and I can see a ton of roots already in the pole, and I'm not going to be able to add this on, well, yeah, I guess I could add it through like here, but this is all set to continue to grow and thrive. I actually took him in the shower so that I could rinse it off. It was so sticky from the extra floral nectaries. It is one of my sappiest plants. It's so gross. Okay, the last thing we're going to do are these corms that have been semi-unattended on the kitchen counter for a few days. I know that some of them, some of the biggest ones are from my Alocasia dragon scale, the super dark one. I always forget, something mask. I think is the name, or like what it's known as. And then I want to say a few are from my Watsoniana dark form. And I feel like there's a third one, but I don't know what they're from. I'm just gonna reuse this stratum that I had on my Moana Loa. And I'm gonna place them in this container for now, and then I can, I don't know, as they sprout, if they sprout, I can move them onto a better situation. I brought gloves because I do want to peel them, and if you know, you know. If you don't know, let me enlighten you. I've gotten a terrible allergic reaction from corms before. I forget what it's called, but it's whatever like their sap is that can irritate your skin. So yeah, I try to be cautious as much as possible. I will say the one, like, the times that it's happened, it's been with a black velvet version. So like the regular black velvet or the pink black velvet, but just to be safe. And I feel like when I post about growing corms and stuff and I talk about peeling them, I feel like people ask if you have to peel them, and you don't have to peel them, but I do find that they do sprout faster when I peel them versus when I don't. Sometimes like they regrow the shell when they're propagating, but I still feel like they sprout faster, and sometimes they're easier to peel than others. Like this one's kind of giving me a hard time. This is one of them, and I'm just going to place them right in here. Another thing I say is I used to be really scared to peel them, like, oh my gosh, what if I break the corm or I hurt it? But I've also like taken chunks off of the corm while peeling it before, and it still sprouts, so I don't worry. I just broke the glove. Yeah, so I just don't worry as much anymore. I feel like I'll be fine. Here's another one. Something I'll know is, again, I had them in this little tray with like a little bit of water, and they were going through the water so fast, like within hours. I didn't realize that corms were very thirsty. Maybe because they aren't attached to the mother plant. I don't know. And obviously they were just out in the open, so also maybe some evaporation from environment. But I was like really surprised. That was like, it was right next to the sink, so it was like easy whenever I was washing my hands or like rinsing a dish, washing a dish, whatever, getting the dog's water, I would just like put a little bit more water on the tray. But I thought that that was really interesting. Sometimes you can just squeeze them and they peel right off, and then other times they're just a little bit more of a pain. I won't bore you showing you every single one because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus a couple of other little ones I may throw on there just to see if anything happens. Maybe I'll just speed through this and then show you how they all end up in this little container after. Okay, so here they are. 2 or 3 of them are really itty bitty. Also, some of those are rocks from the pond that the stratum was kind of intertwined with. I am going to close it all the way and seal it. And again, this isn't a permanent situation because it's, you know, they don't have much room to actually sprout in there. But for now, this will do. So we'll see what happens. I am curious to know what that third one, or like to find out hopefully what that third one might be, because I do know for sure 2 of them, but that third one I really don't know what it is. Okay, I'm gonna get this Moana Loa out of there, although I still feel like it has a pretty dry spot over on this side. I might give it some more time to keep getting some water in there. But I do have something exciting to share with you. I mean, I hope that you're as excited as I am about it. I've been working on it for quite some time. I actually have a couple of things that I have been working on, and I am excited to share those with you. My battery's actually gonna die, so let me replace that and we'll keep chatting for just another second. Enough with the suspense. I'll just tell you what I'm gonna tell you. You are the first I'm letting know, and I am really excited / nervous to share this. I feel like whenever I'm sharing something new, I'm very excited, but I'm also just nervous as to how it's gonna be received. But again, I'm excited to share this with you, and if you find this to be something that's helpful and that you would like, I'm extra excited that you would want to use it. If you've been following me for a while, you may or may not know that I released 2 years ago some guides on different things to do with your plants, and how to, thrive with your plants and things like that for different seasons in the year. Well, I have completely revamped and updated and upgraded my winter guide. So how to thrive with your plants all through winter long. And it is now available to you. You are the first to know. So I'll make sure to link it down below. But I go through basically the basics, very simplified, on why winter is different and what you should do and why it matters and how you can keep your collection thriving even through the winter. And I know that this is going to sound different than what you usually hear, but winter is truly one of my best and most vigorous growing seasons for my indoor plants. And that's because I think I can better keep up with watering because I'm such a chronic underwaterer. But also, I just think that I really cracked the code to providing my plants with what they need to continue to grow during the winter season. The number one thing is no secret. I say it all the time. It's light. So obviously supplementing light is a big part of that. But I also go into other things that you can do to ensure that your collection stays happy, thriving, and growing, as well as resources to the things that I use, or like some tips and tricks that I find helpful to keep me and my plants thriving. And then I also included an extra freebie in there that's like a checklist, like your weekly easy checklist of things that you can do to keep up with your collection regardless of the size, but you're not spending hours and hours a day or a full day tending to everything. I think that winter allows us, again, especially for me, such a chronic underwater, the flexibility of not having to be on top of our plants as frequently and really taking advantage and seizing the opportunity to get some beautiful growth in spite of the shorter days and cooler temperatures. So again, if you're interested, I will link it down below. It's $1.99. If you're interested and would like to support, I would love it, and I would love your feedback on what you think. And of course, share with me throughout the winter season how your plants are doing. I love to see all of your big success stories and or assist any way that I can with any trouble you might be having. With that, that's gonna be the end of this video. If you watched the whole thing, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. If you skipped the first ramble part and just watched the plant stuff, thank you. I appreciate you just as much. If you're interested in the guy, I appreciate you. If you don't, that's okay too. But thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. I truly appreciate you, and I will see you soon. Bye.